What's good with it? Oh, okay. To make a long story short or whatever, I'm tattooing my finger today. And I'm tattooing my signature, cause, hear me out. I guess you could say I'm self-made or whatever. I don't know, I just thought it'd be cool to like put something on my finger, you know what I'm saying? Cause like, I want hand tats so bad, but I only just turned 17. And I know I have like other ones and like other ones on my body, but hand tattoos are a real commitment, you know? Like, not as much as like a face or neck tat, obviously, but this is like the third step, you know? So I want to do something like not super obvious, not too out there, you know? Nothing that like people are gonna fucking harass me with, like, oh, you're never gonna get a job. Like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Like, the world's gonna burn by the time I need to get a career. Like, I'm not fucking worried, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna show you all my setup and all that. Okay, not my full setup because it's pretty nasty. And I don't need nobody up in my comments like, oh, that's unsanitary. Well, fucking, yeah, it is. It's at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. Adjustment time. So I'm sitting here at my desk, you know. Okay, so here are the needles I'm using. I'm pretty sure they're from, okay, well, I don't fucking know where they're from, and I'm not gonna show you the back of it. Let me just show you the whole everything I have set up over here. It's not really set up yet because I wanted to wait till I started recording so I could kind of show how I'm doing this, how I'm working it, you know? Okay, here's what we got going on right now. I got my Dragon Hawk set up down here, extension cord coming up, set up to this. I'm about to make my stencil. I got my stuff for stenciling right here. I got my hustle butter, my ink cap over there, my stencil butter, and my green soap. I gotta get a little thing of water and like a little rag or something to wash myself. But here's how it's looking. Here's how it is. I'm trying to set this up in a way where you can see everything, but you're not like too far away, you know? Okay, so I gotta start with my stencil. Here we got some stencil paper. You can get it off Amazon for pretty cheap. You usually don't get a whole ton of sheets with it, but it's okay. You're supposed to cut it off before you start drawing on it, just to keep it most sanitary and so you can use the whole page. But I mean, I'm the only one that's gonna use these pages, so I'm just gonna draw on it like this. And you can either use the yellow part for your sketch or whatever, or you can go straight onto the clear paper, which is what you're gonna end up using. So that's what I'm gonna do. Actually, yeah, let me cut this out first so that it doesn't get all annoying and wrinkly. And stash this away. Alright, so you got 4 parts of this paper. You don't need this. And you don't need the protective film that's over this. Alright, I got my signature on this paper. And now I'm going to use just like a little bit of tape so that I can tape these 2 pieces together. You're going to want to tape it onto the matte side. At least I'm pretty sure. Let me just test it real quick because I always forget. Yeah, you're going to want to tape this part to the matte piece or the matte side of your stencil paper. I just did a line like this so that it you know what I'm saying? And you either want to use like a ballpoint pen or a really sharp pencil or something so that you can really scratch the film off of that paper. And you're just going to want to go over this a few times. That's why I use tape, so I make sure it doesn't move around and my stencil doesn't get messed up. Alright, boom. Now we got it. You can always check by just lifting it a bit and see if it's like that, you know? That's the result you want. So then pop this bad boy off. You can throw all these out if you don't need them. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this like super small so I can use it like a fake tattoo, you know? Okay, I got it like this. You're usually gonna want to make it a little bigger, but that's okay. All right, so we got my finger here. Gotta make sure it's clean. It is relatively clean enough for me. And you're gonna want some stencil butter. If you don't have this, I'd want to use something with this consistency. It's just best to get stencil butter. You're only going to want to use a very, very tiny amount because otherwise your ink bleeds everywhere. Let me pop on a Gloveroonie. And then spread it around. Yeah, if you don't have stencil stuff, I said stencil butter, I think. If you don't have stencil stuff, here's the one that I have. It's only like 10 bucks, but if you don't have it, I think I use like Aquaphor and like a little bit of water or something. But anything with this consistency should work, but you're gonna wanna get stencil stuff. So then, you know, you take your stencil and you place it right on. You're gonna wanna be super careful with the placement or you're gonna have to make another stencil. But no worries, it's better to mess up a stencil than to mess up your skin. And then hold it down, try and keep it straight and not move it a whole ton. You'll be able to tell when it's worked because it'll really stick to your skin and you'll be able to see through the paper a lot more. And you can always like lift it a little bit just to see if it's there. All right, cool, cool, cool. Here's what we got, here's what we got. Let me show you on the flip side of the camera. Here's what we got going for us. I like it. All right, so we got our stencil down. I'm looking at it eye level. It looks where I want it to be, right? Okay, you're probably gonna wanna be next to a trash bin or like a paper bag or a plastic bag. I just keep my shit in like a corner until I'm ready to throw it all out at the end. All right. Ink cap. You can get a bag of these bad boys online. And then I use Nocturnal Tattoo ink. Just squeeze a few drops into your ink cap. You're not gonna need a whole ton. I usually fill mine about halfway because you can always fill more, but you don't want your ink splashing nowhere, staining all your shit and all that. Okay. I'm gonna take a little bit of Hustle butter, just a tiny bit, and dab it onto where your stencil is, or where you're gonna put your tattoo. Again, just a little bit, because otherwise you're gonna smear your stencil and you're gonna be like, fuck, and then you're not gonna be able to see anything. We're speed running this, because my roommates are gonna be home and I'm not gonna be able to record. Got my tattoo gun, my Dragon Hawk one. Really pop it in there, you know? You're supposed to change the grip out every time. I have not, which is probably really gross and unsanitary, but I'm lazy, so. And now I've never tattooed my hand, and I know it's gonna hurt a lot, and I know I'm gonna be all shaky from the pain. So I only have mine at a 6.2, but I usually tattoo at about a 7.5. Let's just see. Yeah, I think this is doable. So you're gonna want it running. And take your ink cap, dip that bad boy in there, and then cross your fingers and go to town. Oh, it's really, all right, so we're going in. And the best thing about tattoos, no matter what anybody says, you can always give up. I lied, I'm turning it down a little bit. I'm scared, I'm so nervous. Okay. I'm so scared. I'm literally so nervous. I've never been this anxious for the pain of a tattoo. You're gonna wanna try and pull your skin so that it's like tight, you know? Because I don't want the ink to bleed. Okay, I lied, I'm going even slower. Okay, it doesn't actually hurt that bad. I just am struggling to keep a steady hand because I'm using one hand to hold down a hand while also tattooing that same hand, you know? here's how it's going. Here's how it's hanging. So I'm gonna let that sit for like another minute, and then I'm gonna grab my green soap and water in a container, dip some paper towels in it, and wipe away. You're not gonna want to have it be too moist. And halfway through tattoos, I usually like dry rub a little bit, but yeah, because you don't want to like undo all the work you just did. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so far not looking so good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. My skin didn't take it very well because my voltage is very low and I'm like not going as deep as I should. So, you know, it's time for a try too, right?
Third pass, let's reveal what it looks like under here. As you can see, I'm slowly regretting my life choices. That's okay. You know, just a little one.
Okay, I actually think that this is the last time because I can see that my J is definitely done. And I'm pretty I'm pretty happy with the outcomes this far, but let's wipe it away and see the final results. It's coming up very blue on camera, but in person it's like all black, I swear. It's just that the camera's picking up on the stencil underneath it. Yeah, I can definitely say it looks a ton better in person, but on camera it's coming out pretty weird. I will give an update on a few days after it's healed though and show y'all what it's looking like. Here it is 2 days later. Okay, thank you, bye.